Hey, Heston, how have you been feeling in camp and especially these sim games? And do you feel like you're all the way back now 100%?
Heston, I think you're muted.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Good. All right. I'm feeling good. I've got to play in like 2 sim games so far, so it's kind of good to break the ice again and play in as close to a real game as you can. And feeling good, honestly. Whether it's hitting or defense or running the bases, feels really good.
Nathan Ruiz.
Heston, just between the mini camp earlier this offseason, this camp now, what's it like just being around the other guys in this organization?
There's so many guys around here that are talented but also work hard. So it's a competitive environment, and we're all competing and trying to improve, and you're always competing against who's around, and it makes all of us better.
Dan Connolly.
Heston, for a lot of young prospects, where they end up, what their numbers look like are the most important thing in a season. Is that different for you, given what you've gone through, and what really kind of are your goals? What would be a successful season for you this year?
Honestly, the numbers are obviously important for a player because that's your stat sheet, and it shows how well you perform. So, for me to have a successful season, it's part of it, but also it's just me getting back into the feel of things and getting where I want to be, whether it's approach wise, strength wise, or just developing. I'd say my goal for this year is just ending the season a better player than what I was day one. And every day I go to the field, finding a way to reach that goal and just keep improving.
Rich Dubroff.
Heston, in coming back from your time off, was there one area of your game that came to you quickly and maybe an area that didn't come to you as quickly?
I would say the area that came back the quickest after having my time off was my hitting, just because hitting's been pretty natural to me, and I keep it very simple. And then the thing that probably I had to be more patient with and give more time was my strength and weight room stuff, just because I had years of work to be at the level of strength I was. And it took a little bit more time to get where I wanted to be. Like I'm in a good spot, if not stronger than what I was before.
Steve Molesky.
Heston, even though it was just a quote unquote sim game, did it feel like more than that to you? What was it like to be a part of it?
Oh, for me, it was definitely more than the sim game. Finally got to throw on a full uniform in the orange and black, and first time playing after a long time off. It was special to me. It was kind of like the point where I felt like I was fully back because I could play a full game. Do whatever I wanted, and I was just another player again, part of this squad.
John Muley.
Heston, kind of similar to all those questions, but is there a certain part of the feeling that you have right now, whether it's being around the guys, being around, being on the field, playing full games, that you're enjoying the most?
Yeah, it's the group of guys is what makes it. A lot of us became friends, or were friends even before we're all in the Orioles organization. It's a good group of guys. We all push each other to get better, and we have a good time while we're out here working hard and trying to improve, and we're all striving for the same goal, and that's to make it to the big leagues and have our own impact for the O's.
Zach Silver.
Hey, Heston, as much as physical has been central, I'm sure you've learned a lot mentally just over the past several years. Where would you rank? What would you say you've learned a lot about yourself just from that aspect? And I guess now when you're kind of getting close to a return to action, what are you sort of going through mentally to just make sure, it's appropriate and everything you're doing is going to pick up right where you left off?
Definitely learned a lot mentally, just going through what I had to But the main thing I took away was patience and controlling what you can control. And in life, there's some things you can control, there's some things you can. So like in baseball, I can control my preparation, how hard I work, but after I hit the ball, I can't control who fields it or where it goes to an extent. So it's focusing on the side I can control, and then also being patient. Things take time, and whether it's developing as a player or learning a new skill, a lot of stuff can't be conquered in one day, but you do it over a couple months and everything, and you be patient and you stick with your process, then that's when you'll end up reaching the points in your game that you'll want to reach, or just being patient in life and letting things develop over time.
Dan Connolly.
Heston, when we first met you, you talked about how you didn't really worry about outside pressures. And now here we are, you're obviously still a top pick. Is it going to be difficult for you to not put extra pressure on yourself, given the fact that, kind of as you mentioned, patience, a lot of people, a lot of fans, even people in the organization are waiting so much to see what you can do. Is it going to be difficult for you not to put extra pressure on yourself?
I think it's a little human nature. I could say that I'm not going to feel the pressure. I'm not going to put extra pressure on myself. But at the end of the day, I'm going to think about it, or I'm going to want to show everyone, why I'm here and what I'm supposed to do for this org. But at the end of the day, I just kind of got to focus on playing baseball and playing how I play, to kind of put that on the back burner. And that's part of sports. You got to be able to handle that aspect of it, whether it's the added pressure or expectations or any of that. And it's not new either. I've had those throughout my career, and me personally, I kind of like having a little bit of added pressure, a little bit of goals to reach or expectations. It gives you something to strive for.
John Mioli.
Heston, you mentioned needing to be deliberate and patient as you were building back your strength and getting back on the physical side of that. As you look back on that process of rehabbing from basically, the ground level, what's going to stand out about how the team brought you along and how that process went for you?
Oh, the training staff was terrific. I've been able to go through all my rehab so far, and it's thankfully went very smoothly. And I think that's accredited to how well they handled it all. All the trainers I worked with that were here, and everybody just, they had a plan for me, and my job was to execute the plan. So whatever they told me to do, I did. And, I feel great, feel healthy, and honestly, probably a little bit stronger than what I was previously, just because of the program they've had me on and some of the exercises that I'm doing now that I'd never done previously.